Hey, we out here, UVA. Man, I here with Hunter.
Come give me that wine I need. Push your bumper back on me. Fulfill all my fantasies. You're the baddest girl in the West Indies.
This is Madhouse, you know what I mean? What you saying, brody?
Nice day. Happy to be here, man. Appreciate you.
Good to finally run into you, bro.
Yeah, man, likewise.
So tell us, famous question, Madhouse that I always start with. Who is Hunter?
Boy, that's a loaded question. Because I will always say that I am just a fan of soca and a fan of soca music. That happened to make music because I love the music so much. And, you know, I tried that thing, and 2 years later, here we are with songs, you know, collabs with like Mr. Killer, Denise Belfon. Last year became the youngest nominee in Caribbean Music Awards history.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Trying to go back to back with nominations this year. So, yeah, man, just, you know, lover of the music.
Nominations and still humble, like fuck, no like.
I try, man, I try. Because I feel like I'm still the same person that I was 2 years ago. You know, I mean, nothing's changed. I'm just making music now. And so, like, I will never want to be that kind of person that, you know, I feel like I'm too good for anybody or too big to do this or that. Like,
respect.
I mean, yeah.
Man, for sure. So, who was your favorite artist listening to that get you into calypso or soca, my bad?
So I've been listening to soca, like, since the womb, really. But growing up, Allison Hines and Rupee were two that were, like, you know, shout out Barbados. Those were two that I really, you know, that raised me.
Big up
and
Barbados.
Then, obviously, Kess, you know, Whatless, that raised me too. That was probably a couple years later. And then, you know, throughout my life, I feel like Kerwin Du Bois, he's a really underrated one that I, you know, was drawn to. And then have to say the big one, Boyce. Boyce, he's the one who started everything for me. And yeah, man, that was my favorite soca song, you know, Cheers to Life. You know.
Big up.
Yeah.
So, how is it like being a soca artist and still dealing with like school and, you know what I mean?
Man,
how that work for you, bro?
It's a battle. It's a battle. And I would say, I mean, I am a good multitasker, but it's kind of have to have a system where, you know, okay, I focusing on this right now, and then I go focus on this later. And so, you know, one or the other, where the priority needs to be at that given time. But, you know, just trying. I started school before I started music, and I want to finish it out, get my degree, and, you know, I think it's important. So, yeah, it's a battle, but, you know, I think it's going to be worth it.
That's good. Yeah. For sure. And just keep pushing, stay and doing what you're doing, bro.
Have to.
That first year when you performed in the village, what song was it? Remind me.
Calypso.
Sweet like calypso. When she whine and I hips fall. The way she whine and go it. Whine and go it. Whine and go down low.
Calypso. What it is make you come up with that song?
That song have an interesting story. So I was working with Third and Star Martin at the time. They were kind of developing me into, you know, trying to be an actual artist. And big ups to them for, you know, getting me into that place all the time. And I did 2 songs that I had wrote before my first studio session. And I went in and I did those 2 songs in that session. And both of them, I say, came out pretty mediocre. And it was like, okay, like there's definitely some potential here. And I've heard a lot worse come out of the Virgin Islands, but I wasn't confident in saying, yeah, this is good enough to push out to the world, you know? And so we kind of unofficially released one of those songs, put it on VI Outlet to get my name out there a little bit with some music behind it. And then, you know, we were still searching for that song to really break into the thing. And I heard a rhythm that Bad John Republic, Kyle Phillips from Trinidad, he posted on a story, and it was a poppy vibe, pop soca kind of thing, and I was like, this bad. So I DM'd him and I was like, hey man, like, this bad, and he was like, if you record a song on it and I like it, you know, I'll give you the rhythm to use. And I was like, okay, bet. So I took it to the studio, and I had the lyrics for most of the song, but the melody needed a little tweaking to really give it the fullness. And so that's where Third came in, and he helped throw down some melodies on it and bring the song to life. And as soon as that song was done, like, I could not stop smiling. I was like,
You know, you
Well,
had something good.
this is
Yeah.
something, yeah, that we
Yeah.
could work with. And so I called my manager, and he was like, play it again. And from there, he's like, no man, we dropping it in 2 weeks. Come on, get the music video done this week, and we dropping it. I'm like, all right, bet. So scrambled to get everything together, shot the video at King of the Wing, and then we dropped it on VI Outlet. The rest is history.
So how was it performing at the video at King of the Wing, doing that whole experience?
It was really cool. It was a good vibe. You know, I kind of stayed off to the side for most of it, and then had them get some crowd shots and all of that. And then the intro of the video is me with Timo and Tiran, because they were there performing, and you know, I kind of had previous you know, interactions with them, but nothing that is memorable. But it was really cool to get them in like the launch of everything, you know, and get that kind of support. And you know, I remember when I posted on VI Outlet, they posted on their story and everything like that, and so that was really cool. And I felt I definitely made the right decision to do it there.
Okay, that's lit. So how would this feel? How you had feel like having Timo and Tehran in your first, I guess, rollout video?
I mean, it felt amazing. Like, that's, in terms of VI music, like that's as high as you could go. And so it was like, for that to be the start, and to be connected with them so early and have their support, and you know, they're both just such nice people, and definitely different in their own ways, but both just so, you know, down to earth and really willing to connect with you. And you know, I really appreciate that about them. And you know, I haven't, you know, linked with them too much in the last couple of years, but
for sure.
definitely interacted enough to know that there's some great people.
Yeah. So, traveling, how has traveling influenced your sound, your way of making music? Like,
That's a good question. That's a really good
being
question.
back and forth from here to Philly?
Yeah, so my dad lives in Philly. I've been back and forth there my whole life, you know, visiting him on breaks and stuff. And yeah, you know, I think it was a key thing, because especially with Third kind of bringing me into the scene, like I always had kind of a pop soca kind of thing in mind of, you know, having a fusion genre where it's not just soca, it's soca that could do well elsewhere. And so that I definitely had that in mind kind of from the beginning, and especially having some people in the States already, like, made me think like, yeah, that's something that I should be striving for, to get music there. And so that was, you know, there's music that I have out that's very, very traditional soca, very traditional bouillon, whatever it is, but
yeah.
I definitely think that eventually my kind of end sound, and you can see with the song that we just did, is more of a fusion sound that I really think could cross barriers.
It is. So, speaking of crossing barriers, what you think about you do young music also, or you might try to like tap in a little bit?
So I mean, I have one boy, well, two, that I didn't really push the second one because it was kind of supposed to do a remix, and all kind of thing happened, and it you know, it is what it is with that situation.
Is that nasty
but
business?
Yeah.
A nice nasty business song.
The bro code.
Stick to the code, don't break it. If you watch the bumper, shake it. Stick to the code, don't break it. If you have to fake it, stick to the code, don't break it. If you watch the gacha rated, I can't take it. I can't take it.
That I did with Jab King. Actually shot the music video in Philly. That was produced by Little Boy. That's a boy on rhythm, and I just kind of did it just to do it and to try something. And he heard it, he really liked it, and hopped on it, made it, you know, gave it the life that it needed to really become that hit. And now it's my most popular song. Still, it's my most streamed song, and kind of by a large number too, especially considering the YouTube numbers. And so it's kind of interesting where like I didn't intend to really get into that space and like for real, but I feel I have to give my fans of that kind of music, you know, something to come back to. And so Hunting kind of has a little boy-on elements to it, but it's more of just a drive power soca kind of vibe.
I like that.
But yeah.
I like that, man. So you have a great, I guess I could call him a mentor, a friend, and also I guess your manager. I don't know exactly know his name, the guy for Tempo.
Frederick.
Frederick.
Yeah.
So how is it working with him? How is it like when he mentors you? Like,
Yeah, that connection is one that kind of just was kind of seamless, you
Yeah.
know, and like it kind of everything, the way things were happening in my life, like it's kind of amazing how everything fell together and landed kind of in perfect timing.
smoothly too.
Yeah, and so really from there, like it kind of felt divine in the way that we started working together, and the last couple, well, I guess the last year, you know, we've had a lot of those moments where it's like, okay, this is too crazy to be coincidence, and this is happening too often to be coincidence. Like there has to be something, you know, driving this connection here, something higher that's, you know, making this happen, and you know, we just kind of try to follow that and follow where the energy is right and what feels right for us to do. And if there's something, you know, some crazy coincidence happens with any situation, we're
Yeah.
like, let's follow that because that seems like what we should do.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so we're both very together and connected, and you know, I think it is a really good working, like you said, it's a mentorship relationship, but also a friendship. And so it's easy to just bounce ideas. Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? You know, gives me so much freedom to just think about what I want to do, and then if you don't like it, you don't like it. If he likes it, he likes it. And
It'll give you space to grow and invent your own vibes.
Yeah. So it's
I
all
like that.
amazing, and shout out to the whole Tempo family.
Shout out to the whole Tempo
Yep,
family for
that
sure.
connected with everybody, and you know, it's just a lot of love.
And what's his name again?
Frederick
Frederick.
Morton. Yep,
Big up
Mr.
Frederick
Tempo.
Murray, man. Thank you for creating this young man right there right now, to which part he is for sure.
Yep, all the time.
So tell the people which part they could find you, bro. Tell the people what it is you get coming.
Yeah,
What to look
so
out for.
Instagram, TikTok, OFF Hunter Music. That's my handle. Pretty much all social medias. That's my YouTube as well. I'm just still getting more on that side of things. St. Thomas Carnival, we just dropped Feta with Denise Belfan and Boogie Ranks, and you know, we got some visuals coming for that soon, so stay tuned. And of course, we have Get Through, which is a song we just did with Madhouse, and really excited for that one. That's a little groovy vibe. Bunch of people ask me.
Look out for it. Don't
Yup.
even worry when it comes. Just
Most
look out for it.
definitely.
Yeah.
A
for sure.
bunch of people asked me make more music like Darling, and so that's kind of the vibe I took with that song. And so
I ain't gonna lie, I like that track there for sure.
Yeah.
You kind of spin my head top on the hair too. I like it. Yeah.
yeah, so you know, that's the St. Thomas release, and you know, we got a lot more coming this year, but gotta keep it on the low for right now.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Facts. Hey, give thanks for coming through, bro.
Of course, man, I appreciate you for having me, man.
I appreciate you.
Yep, blessings.